for hanging out with us here. Let me get our. That's not us. This is us. Oh, this happens a lot more often than I'd like it, and I apologize for that. Computer decided to restart, so we are back, and we're just going to continue talking about our Haitian immigrant story. I don't have much left. We're going to hit a short break, and then we're going to invite our guest in, who is Herman Corey from HLCProductions. So let's continue with what we were discussing. So Sawyer Hackett identified. Okay, Michelle Smith is going to be here on the 28th. What the? So it's a 9. Yes, there. The whips and the Haitians. So this guy, who is a senior advisor to a former presidential candidate, Julian Castro, who got like less than 2% support, and he bowed out like really quickly. Posted this on Twitter, saying that we're using whips to control the Haitians, but that's really not true, because those were called split reins. They're not whips, dude. And I was like, okay, split reins, this is different to me. I had to figure out what that was, because when you look at that picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, are they whipping these people? Because pictures don't tell the entire story. Pictures take an instant in time, and then people draw their conclusions, which is probably what that Flit boy did. But anyway, split reins, and I had to look all this stuff up. Split reins are used during trail riding. It allows the rider to maintain control over the horse on hilly terrain where the rider must remain in a vertical position. So what that means, like if the horse is negotiating like hills or trails that are precarious, I guess it allow that you can't just follow the horse. Your body just can't lean to where the horse is. You have to maintain your balance. So that's what that is for. It allows you to maintain your vertical position on the horse. The reins have to be longer for you to be able to do that. So they're called split reins. And it also, what else? I'm still trying to reopen all the crap on my computer.
Oh no.
But it also, go ahead.
Horses
please.
are like the ultimate 4x4s. They are the ultimate 4x4s. Horses and donkeys. They are the best. Mules too, especially mules are the best. But you can't beat that. No machine will be able to beat a horse getting overtrained at that point. Huh?
Not even something from what is that? What is that? They make all the robots that look like dogs.
Boston Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics, man.
That's some pretty good stuff going out there, but no, I don't think it'll ever compare to a good mule. A pack mule's like some of the best thing you can get across the terrain with.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever beat an actual animal with a robot. I think you're going to come really close, but I don't think you'll beat the actual animal at all. And the split reins also have another purpose, which is you can tie off your horse. If you have to get off of your horse and tie him off, you can do that, because these split reins are extremely long compared to just regular reins. Makes sense to me, but I mean, I guess the facts don't matter to this fella, Sawyer Hackett, senior advisor to Julian Castro.
Blue check mark on Twitter.
Oh, definitely had a blue check.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, dude's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. I mean, he graduated from Harvard. So did his brother. And they're both in politics, and I say smart. They're I throw that word around a lot. Smart is very vague. He's very intelligent as far as book smarts go, but as far as common sense goes, this guy's a fucking idiot.
At that 4.0 GPA, but doesn't know what a brain looks like.
He doesn't know how a horse works. To be truthful, I didn't know how a horse works as far. I'm like, split reins. What are split reins? Because it didn't take long for media to go, hey, no, actually, the media didn't say shit. It took like I saw a post from Mindy Robinson saying, hold on a minute, these are split reins. I use these when I ride, with Randy. And they allow you to have more maneuverability when the horse is going through, going down an incline or something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to read up on this when I get home. And I did, and I learned about it, and now I know. This is really awesome. Okay, nothing's going to happen. We're going to take a short break. What do you say? We're going to attempt a short break, and we're going to let Herman call in, and we're going to get him all set up. So we're going to take a very, very short break. Don't go anywhere. If we get disconnected, we are going to come back. So never fear. We will always be back. So it's going to be break time just for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be right back with Herman at HLC Productions. Jots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right, everybody, we are back, and in just a second, I'm gonna welcome Herman here to the show. I just got to get my video to work. This is gonna work. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. No, it's not working. It's not working, Herman. We love your lovely face, and look at all of those 3D printers hard at work behind you, man. Oh my gosh. All right, fuck it, we'll do it live. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second part of Friday Night Freedom. My name is Koz, and my special guest here is, oh my gosh, HLCProductions, Herman Corey. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Very, very happy to have you as a guest. I really wish the video was working, and it's not, and it will. I'm upgrading my computer, and I think you know about these technical issues that sometimes happen.
Yes, sir.
So, Herman, tell me about yourself. You are a young man, and I've read your bio. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. You look like just another E4 in the platoon, but your looks are extremely extremely deceiving.
I'm actually 40 years old, so I get it all the time that I look young. Soldiers come up to me, ask me, if the rank I have on is actually mine, which it is. I've been in the military for 19 years. In January it'll be 20. So still thinking about if I'm gonna stay in or get out. But at this time right now, I'm shifting towards getting out. So that's the reason why I have my business that I'm setting up and everything like that to help me out. To make that transition.
Well, welcome, man. And 20 years of service didn't age you a day. I would like to see a picture of you right next to the picture of your that really horrible basic training photo that you take.
I actually have one too.
I think maybe the only difference is that maybe they shaved your head completely off. I have no idea.
Exactly. I was bald-headed. That's about it. I hated it. So it was either a bald head or a high and tight, and I didn't want a high and tight, so I opted for the bald head.
That's exactly the way I went with.
19 years. Thank you very much for your service. Have you done it all you're a tanker?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm a tanker. I'm a sergeant first class right now. I am I've been it all as a 19-kilo tanker. I've been all around the country and a couple of places in the world and everything like that throughout my 19 years. And I haven't been a tanker the entire time. I've been, as of right now, I am doing ROTC. I'm an ROTC instructor in Rochester, New York. So I'm away from the tanks right now. So
do you miss it?
I do miss it. I miss going to gunnery. I don't miss fixing, having to do maintenance on the tank. I don't miss having to sleep on the tank and everything like that. I miss going to gunnery and in the competition and competing and against my fellow tankers, and that's what I mean. And I miss the soldiers.
Is there any truth to the phrase "death before dismount"?
Oh, it's true. It's true. Right now, I go at the Fort Drum with the cadets. And they want me to sleep on the ground, and I'll sleep in the van because I'm just not used to sleeping on the ground. Or they want me to walk around with them all day, and I could be complaining the entire time. Tankers don't be doing this, that, and other. So, but I do it anyway, because that's my job right now.
So I'm guessing you have like a whole lot of really great camaraderie with your tank platoon, with your entire unit. It's just a really tight relationship with your I was going to say with your guys, but now we've got like a mixed integration right now, so that it's not just men, it's men and women. Did you have any women in your unit?
Exactly. I not in my actual platoon, but some of our sister units, We had some females and everything, and we just accept them in, just like soldiers that just another tanker.
Yeah.
We all need help doing stuff, just like they can need help, and we'll assist the same way. And even though she may not have been my soldier, I mean, if she came up to me as an NCO asking me, for some help, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give her the advice and everything.
That's the way to do it. That's definitely the way to do it. So what got you interested in 3D printing? Was it just like, we're like blowing stuff up in like other grid squares, and I just want to learn about 3D printing, or was it like I need to further my education, so you went in that direction?
No, I actually was thinking I had a lieutenant that was going to leave the unit, and I wanted to make him a little a tank model, and I was thinking about different ways that I can do that. And one day I was just like, how about 3D? How about I just 3D print one? And that's what I did. I started out with one printer, and I sat on that printer for maybe like an entire year trying to figure out how to use it and everything. Eventually, I got that one tank out. And I presented to the LT, but with tankers, we like a lot of tank stuff. So I showed one tanker, another tanker seen it, and they was like, "Oh, I want one."
Hey, hey, can you make something different?
Exactly, and that's where I'm at now. So it's I see this tank here. Can you make me the full size tank round? And at first I was like, no, because I wasn't ready, to actually go in that direction. So I started out just making just the penetrator part at the top. Okay. And then I was only making them 9 inches, and then it went from that to, someone wanted a larger one, the full size. And it just went from a Sabo round to now I want a heat round. Now I want a can round to now I just make all the rounds,
I'm running through
to this point now. I make the entire full scale tank round now.
I'm running through a selection of some of your products. I couldn't get to all of them, but I grabbed like 5 or 6 of them, and we're just I'm just going through the going through the slideshow, man. It's incredible, the detail.
I'm just nerding out about your printers in the back behind you, man. I just wish I had like 2 of those.
I have 8 of them going. They're going 24/7. Literally once one stop, I'm starting another one. I have 8 printers.
8 printers. So you started with one. When did this? Okay. Did you just start with this, or did you decide to get an education in this, or did you just figure out how to do stuff?
I went to YouTube University.
There you go.
Bought one printer.
Oh man.
I bought one printer. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to work it and everything like that. And I started selling off of that one. Then my workload got a little bit heavier, so that one bought another one. Those 2 bought another one. And after a while, now I got 8. So, like I said, no, I didn't know. I didn't have any knowledge at all before buying my first one. I bought my first one in 2017, and no lie, since 2017 until now, these printers have been on. The guys, they keep me busy, and I love it. So every time that I present one thing, someone else wants something else, and I jump on CAD and I figure out how to make it, because I'm not that great in CAD, but I can do some things. Like I can make these tanks around there. And when I don't know how to do something, I jump on YouTube.
YouTube is a great teacher. It's a great teacher. It really is. It doesn't tell you everything, but it teaches you enough, and it's intuitive enough. Most tasks are intuitive enough where you can figure it out after okay, I got my feet wet, so I'm going to play with this a little bit.
Exactly.
You're doing great stuff, man. I'm looking at some of your products over your, it looks to me like your left shoulder. You got those are those 3D printed? Those are huge.
Sir. They're 3D printed full size round tank rounds. So that they're the 120s. You put it side by side by a actual real round, and they'll be 1-to-1. The thing I do additionally to it is I put the symbols and any kind of like symbols they want on it. It can be
like if you got somebody from 1st Cav Division, Davardi, exactly. You can do whatever.
Exactly. I pull it into I use Adobe Illustrator to pull in the image. Then I vector the image, get it exactly how they want it. I pull it over into the CAD software that I use is Fusion 360. Fusion 360, and I do a push pull on the actual model that I made, and from there I push it through the 3D printers. And after these right here, I have 8 printers, so 4 printers. I have to take out 4 printers to print one model, and that'll take a day and a half to print the entire model. And that's the reason why I had to buy more printers, because if I only had one printer, it'll literally take me a day and a half just to print one piece. So then I had to stretch it out between all my printers to try to get my workload, out a little bit faster.
That was going to be my next question. Is this all done in one shot, or is this an assembled product? And you just answered that question.
Yes, yeah. So it's actually 5 pieces. So for the tank round itself, so I have the top part, the projectiles, one piece.
Mm-hmm.
I have from there, the very bottom piece is the aft cap, and then the actual body part of the round is actually 3 pieces put together to make one round.
What's that handheld thing? What do they call that? It starts with a C. What's the word of that? It's like a joystick.
The Cadillac.
The Cadillac. That's it.
Yes.
I'm not a tanker. I was an aviation guy, so I don't know all these cool things. All I know is I was in 6th Cav Brigade at Fort Hood, and we heard the tankers all the time blowing shit up. So
all day and all
of
night.
the tankers were either blowing stuff up, or they were at the wash rack washing their tank, or they were in the field somewhere else doing things.
Exactly. And I actually make I have a model of Cadillacs, that I print. Same thing. I model it, and I can put on the side whatever unit they want, the soldier's name on the top and everything like that. And I make the Cadillacs. I make the TC's power handle, and I also have the driver's handle for the tank also that I made.
So based on all that lovely equipment in the background, you've got a lot of success and a lot of interest in your products.
Yes, sir, I do. Yeah, I do, sir.
Is this mostly is this for like fans? Like, wow, I was in Vietnam, and I was an artilleryman in Vietnam or whatever, and I would really like to have this or get this for my friend.
Exactly, yeah. So a lot of times it'll be like we were talking more about tanks right now, tank stuff, but I actually make mortar rounds. I make artillery rounds. Some like we call as tankers, we call them dino tankers. So the older tankers, they dino
tankers.
They had yeah. So they had the 105s. So I do make the 105 shell for them. A lot of them will have the brass. They have the brass casing that at their home, but they don't have the projectile part that goes on the top.
Mm-hmm.
I 3D print those projectiles for them, and it fit 1-to-1. Like I said, it's all my scale things are 1-to-1 scale. It fits exactly into their the casings that they have. Like I said, I do have all the mortar rounds. I have the 120s, the 80s, the 81s, the 60s. I have the 155 rounds, and all of the rounds I'm naming, I can put anything they want on them. And most of the time, it is a lot of the guys are leaving the units and they want to give them a going away gift or something like that, or like I said, it'll be like a veteran that was in 30 years ago and wants something from his era. And if I don't have it, then I'll make it. Like all the models I have, I make them myself. The ones that I don't sell any models that I can just go online and find, and because I feel like it's wrong for me to try to sell someone else's product. So everything that I sell is made by me.
So you do all of the entire CAD drawing. You don't use SolidWorks. I was going to say, because you've gone to a lot of expense to not really spend a lot of money, because all of these things, I mean, using the Adobe suite is relatively inexpensive, and all of your rendering is all it's there for people to use. Some of it's open source stuff.
It is. A lot of it is. And then a lot of guys, they'll message me on Facebook and they'll be like, hey man, can you help me out with this? You help me out with that, and I'll help them. I don't try to hold back the information. I'm here to try to help people. The one thing I won't do is I won't give someone my model, but I will show you how to make that model for yourself, and then from there you can, go on and grow for grow whatever you're trying to do, and go that direction. But I will not give you the model, but I will definitely give you step by step on how it is that I made that model so you can make it yourself.
And that makes a great NCO. And I think that your training has just brought you to that point where you're not going to give them the answer, but you're going to show them how to get the answer.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
And another thing that kind of stuck in my mind is if you don't have something, you're going to figure out and you're going to make it happen, which is just the ethos of every soldier. You got to make it happen.
Yes, sir.
What are your plans for the future? I mean, you said you're up to eight machines right now, and they're working.
Exactly.
Do you ever have like a in the middle of the night failure or something, or you've run out of media, or something crashes, or you smell smoke
all the time? Well, not smell smoke or nothing like that, but all the time. I have cameras on each one of my my printers, and on my phone. I can pull it up and actually look at each one. I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna check my models because like it's a 24-hour thing. I just can't just do it and forget about it. I look at my phone and I made each one of my models are named by color. So 8 colors for each 8 printers, and I'd be like, oh, red is out of PLA, so I had to jump up, come down here, and put more PLA. So that PLA is actually material that it's made. It's like a hard plastic.
Okay.
Well, but at the same time, maybe red, it slipped off of the plate, and now it's just what we call a spaghetti bowl. But it's just twine everywhere.
A big old ball of
it's exactly. And the thing about 3D printing is, once it mess up, you can't just start back where it's at. You have to start completely over. So I could have been a day and a half in. And maybe 90% done, but if it mess up at 91%, I got to start.
Especially at the top of one of those Sabo rounds where it comes up right to that little peak and fails. Oh no!
Have you ever played with any of the resin printers yet, or are you just strictly sticking to filament printers?
Well, as of right now, I'm just doing filament. I just, recently, started looking at the resin printers. Like I say, I teach where I instruct over at RIT, which is an engineer school here in Rochester. And one of the departments they have deals with a lot of the 3D printers and everything. So I just got in contact with one of the actual professors over there that does the resin printers and everything like that. So I want to go talk to him one day and try to figure out, how it's done, because it's completely different than the actual filament printers, and just see if there's something that I can get into where it'll speed up my workload. Because like I said, on these filament printers here, it could take, like I say, a day and a half just to do one section of it. So if the resin printers will go a little bit faster, then I maybe just convert it over to them.
Isn't resin something different? I don't know if you could make an entire round with that, but you could make certain attributes of that round in a resin printer and then attach it.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, like I said, I only seen the resin printers only like flipping through on Facebook and seeing, like a little short clip on how it's done. It's actually the filament printers like this is actually done from the bottom up. But the resin printers, it's all the way down, and actually, as it comes up out of the resin, it's already made as it. I don't know exactly how it's done, but I haven't really got into it as of right now. But I know but right now the filament printers are what I'm using, so that's really what I'm just concentrating on right now.
So I kind of interrupted your answer. I was asking what are your plans for the future?
Oh, so. My plan. So, like I said, I am in the debate now if I want to go ahead and retire or not. But I am. I'm prepared to stay in the military, but at the same time, I'm prepared to get out. And I have a couple of degrees that I've gotten since I've been in the military, and also I have this business thing that I'm doing here with my 3D printers. I'm also a photographer also. So I feel like I have a couple of avenues that I can lean on.
You've got a good skill set.
But yes, sir. So hopefully, hopefully, if I decide to get out, I can lean on this a little bit, but at the same time, like I said, I do have a couple of degrees that I can do in order to push me over. So.
What are your degrees in?
So I have a bachelor's in Homeland Security, and I have a master's degree in information technology.
Hell yeah, dude! And you got all this while active duty, right?
Yes, sir. I'm
Tuition assistance?
Yes, sir.
I mean, was it all TA? Was it all?
I use all my assets. I use
everybody
TA,
should
I
do
use
that.
financial aids. I use everything, and I didn't have to pay anything. And you know how the Army said, if you pass the grade, if you pass the course, you don't have to pay. And I was not planning on paying for any courses, so I made sure I graduated with honors.
And guess what? And you're going to get out, and you're going to retire, and you're going to have this really baller ass education fund that you can use or pass down to your kids. And you've got a couple.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple.
Oh, yes, sir. I got a couple.
That's really good. I'm not sure how New York handles. Do they have like something like here in Texas? They have what is that called, Pooky? The
Harwood.
Say that again.
I think it's the Harwood Act.
Harwood Act, where you can just where you can pass your in-state tuition benefits to your kids. I'm not sure if New York has the same thing, but you've got the probably the post 9/11.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I do have that. Yeah, but I'm not planning on staying. I'm not from New York. I'm actually from North Carolina. So I'm planning on moving back down south. So when I get down there, hopefully. So
the Myrtle Beach area is hot right now for good homes if you're looking into it.
Yeah, I am from North Carolina, but I'm really considering on settling in South Carolina. So that may be an option.
So, looking at all your products and your web space at HLCProducts.com, and there's your Facebook. I don't have your Facebook. What's your Facebook?
The Facebook is HLC 3D Impressions. So I call it HLC Productions because I have two sides. I have my photography side and I have my 3D printing side. So my 3D printing side is HLC 3D Impressions.
HLC 3D. There we go. We're gonna stick that out there in the chat for people to check out, man.
Sir.
Man, you got some great products. Since this started as a 3D, like an interest to make things, or did you have some experience? Because you've been in the service for 19, almost 20 years. Did you have since you had like a information systems, like a computer background, you were comfortable with doing all of this?
Well, yes. Well, I was comfortable because I always, like I said, I've always been comfortable with doing computer stuff. I'm always, breaking stuff, tearing stuff down and putting it back together and everything like that. So once I got the 3D printer, I work on these things a lot more than I would like to just, actually admit that I do. So, but it's fun to me to try to fix them and everything like that. So, once I got my first printer, like I said, I got it because, I was trying to make something for my lieutenant. And then, I'll mess something up and I had to fix it. And then it's just a lesson learned for the next time that happens, to me, until I find out something else. And then after a while, my knowledge of, how the printer works and the reason why it does this, that, and the other, it'll grow. And to the point where I'm not actually working on them as much as I were when I first got them, but now, I keep them up for the most part because I know what I'm doing now.
Question from the chat says, not to get you in any trouble, but have you ever fixed your tank with a 3D printed item?
No, no, I have not. No, no, I haven't. But I do get people all the time, so I got a full size tank round, and you got this one smart guy that said, "Oh, can you print a whole tank?" but yes, I can. I can print a whole tank, and I have them, up to 16 inches. But they mean an entire,
like to
I'm
scale.
like, no, I don't. Exactly. I'm like, no, I cannot.
Could you? Yeah,
So
you
tell them,
probably could, but who's going to pay the?
How much will
the
75 tons of PTO cost you? You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be a lot.
So do you mentor any of your troops? I mean, I know you're doing the ROTC thing now, but when you were back in units doing things, Army stuff, real Army stuff, did you have any of your soldiers that were like interested in this, or did you share your hobby with them at all?
Well, I didn't really have